You're watching Carscope, the place where we dive deep into the cars that move the world and stir the soul. Today, we're bringing you a full review of a true icon, refined, re-engineered, and more advanced than ever. This is the 2026 Porsche 911 Carrera, a machine that blends timeless design with futuristic precision. Whether you're a die-hard Porsche fan or just curious about what Stuttgart has cooked up next, you're going to want to see what this legend looks like in its latest form. Let's jump in. The moment your eyes land on the 2026 911 Carrera, you know exactly what you're looking at. Porsche hasn't strayed from its heritage, and that's a good thing. But look closer, there are subtle refinements all over. The front end is sharper, more sculpted than before. The headlights now feature a more integrated matrix LED system, almost like they've been melted into the fenders. They're slimmer, more aggressive, and offer adaptive illumination that reacts to weather, curves, and speed. The air intakes beneath the lights are larger now, giving the front fascia a wider, more planted stance. They're not just for show, they actively manage airflow, improving aerodynamics and engine cooling efficiency. From the side, the silhouette remains unmistakably 911. That gentle sloping roofline still defines the car's identity, but Porsche has tweaked the side profile ever so slightly. New flush-mounted door handles sit tight against the body, only popping out when touched. The fender flares are now a bit more pronounced, giving the Carrera a broader, more muscular look. The base model rides on 19-inch front and 20-inch rear alloys, but this 2026 variant offers a new optional light-weight forged wheel design that cuts weight without sacrificing strength. Even the glasshouse has been slightly revised for better rearward visibility and reduced drag. And of course, the proportions are perfectly balanced. It's a sports car that looks fast even when parked. Around back, the changes continue to unfold. The full-width light bar remains a signature feature, but it now uses a more sophisticated OLED setup with customizable lighting signatures depending on your driving mode. Porsche's latest rear grille design spans the upper rear deck, subtly hiding improved active aero components underneath. At highway speeds, a wider adaptive rear spoiler deploys seamlessly to reduce lift. The dual-exit exhaust sits perfectly centered in the lower diffuser, and the note that comes from it a pure mechanical symphony. And tucked just beneath that classic engine cover is something special. More on that in a moment. Slide into the interior, and the Carrera reminds you that performance and luxury can absolutely coexist. Porsche hasn't gone full digital like some rivals. Instead, they've refined the analog-digital balance beautifully. The iconic central tachometer still sits front and center, now fully digital, but styled to mimic the old mechanical gauge clusters. Flanking it are curved digital displays that show navigation, performance metrics, and customizable widgets. The steering wheel has been slightly redesigned, with haptic feedback controls that respond more naturally than before. The drive mode selector now includes a personalized My Mode setting, which remembers your preferred steering weight, throttle response, and suspension settings. Material quality is outstanding. Soft leather, real aluminum, and carbon fiber accents define the cabin. The new seats are called Adaptive Sport Plus feature dynamic bolsters that tighten up as you take corners harder, keeping you locked in without being overly stiff. Rear seats, still mostly for show or small kids, but fold them down and you've got more usable storage than you'd expect. The center console has been cleaned up, housing a smaller, more responsive gear selector, and the 12.3-inch touchscreen running the latest PCM 7.0 infotainment system is intuitive, snappy, and supports over-the-air updates. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, as is a new voice assistant that actually understands natural language commands now. Under the skin, the 2026 911 Carrera is where things get truly interesting. Power still comes from a rear-mounted 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine, but it's been reworked to deliver sharper response and greater efficiency. Horsepower has increased slightly to 400 up from 379 in the 2025 model, while torque now peaks at 410 pounds-feet. Porsche has refined the turbochargers for better low-end punch, and throttle response is nearly instant. Paired with the lightning-fast 8-speed PDK dual-clutch transmission, the Carrera rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.8 seconds. If you opt for the Sport Chrono package, that time drops to 3.6. The ride is sublime. Thanks to the latest PASM active suspension system, the Carrera glides over uneven roads but tightens up with surgical precision in corners. Rear axle steering is now available on the base Carrera for the first time, making tight city turns easier and high-speed lane changes more stable. And Porsche's latest torque vectoring system ensures power is always being distributed where it's needed most. Whether you're cruising on a coastal highway or carving up back roads, this car just feels alive. Confident, capable, engaged. Fuel economy? Not usually a Porsche headline, but the 2026 Carrera posts modest improvements thanks to revised software and thermal management systems. Expect around 20 mpg city and up to 28 highway, depending on how you drive. It's no hybrid, but it's more efficient than you'd think for a rear-engine sports car that sounds this good. And speaking of sounds, Porsche has enhanced the acoustic profile of the Carrera. The exhaust flaps open more aggressively under load, and inside the cabin, Porsche's new active sound control gives you just enough engine roar without resorting to artificial audio tricks. It's the kind of growl that gives you goosebumps as you downshift into a tunnel. Now, let's talk about the numbers. The base price of the 2026 911 Carrera starts at around $118,000. Add in the Sport Chrono package, upgraded wheels, adaptive suspension, and some premium interior options, and you're easily pushing the mid-$130K range. Fully spec'd with all the bells and whistles, you're flirting with $150,000. And while that's certainly premium, you're not just paying for the Baggia, you're paying for an engineering legacy that's been fine-tuned for over 60 years. Porsche also offers a very attractive lease and pre-owned certified program for those looking to step into the 911 world without going all in immediately. In the grand scheme, the 2026 Porsche 911 Carrera is more than just a sports car, it's an evolution of an icon. It holds fast to the soul of the original 911 while pushing boundaries in performance, technology, and design. Porsche didn't try to reinvent the wheel here, they just made it turn faster, smoother, and with more grip than ever before. If you're someone who wants a car that delivers thrills without drama, that can be driven to the track on Saturday and to brunch on Sunday, that turns heads and corners with equal finesse, then the 2026 Carrera might just be your perfect machine. It's not trying to be loud for the sake of attention. It's not chasing trends. It's just being the best version of itself, and in this case, that's more than enough. Thanks for watching CarScope. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Porsche 911 Carrera, hit that like button, subscribe for more detailed reviews, and drop us a comment. Would you take this over a Mercedes-AMG GT or an Audi R8? We read every one. Until next time, drive safe, drive smart, and as always, keep your scope on the road.